Hi, April here with Alea Creative. Today we are going to be doing a flip through of my Let It Be Whatever It Is journal, aka my Intuitive Freedom Journal. And I am excited to share this one. I do confess that this is one that I did not create with the intention of ever showing it. To anybody other than myself. But I do think there are some interesting ideas and experiments that I tried in here I think might be helpful to others. So let's get started. And if you don't mind, go ahead and like and subscribe. It really does help my small channel grow. So this particular journal is a inexpensive journal that I purchased on clearance from Michael's for about $3. The cover wore very paint down on the page, and then I ended up going over it in white pen. This page was the trying it out, just using some colors that I enjoyed. This I decided to just go in with a quote or a little phrase. Not all storms come to disrupt your life. Some come to clear your path. This was my happy birthday page. I hate this page. I hate everything about it with a passion. I was using up some things from one of my low paper magazines, so it did serve its purpose in that I did use up some things here, but I don't like it. This page, I was just playing around. I was still in a pretty rough place when I was working in this one. So I just laid down some stickers. I add a little whimsy to everyday tasks with some lighting, candles, rituals, flowers, and music. And yeah, every day is music magical. So here I was doing a page that I have seen some people in the planner community do where they do the layered sticker pages. So I did give that a try, but I lost my patience with it. And then I made a little spring bucket list, having a picnic, a tea party, happy mail, and going to the Camp Gordon, which I did all of those things. And yeah, this was just playing with the stickers. And I was going to put affirmations in here, but I ended up not doing that. So this page was where I really started to get excited about this journal. I had printed these images out from Canva and I enjoyed putting them in here. My Wonderland is a place where I can be me and there is nothing keeping me hidden. No stupid rules, no comparisons, no mean people, so many flowers, animals, birds. I'm just rambling on here. Sunlight and breeze, lush forest, clear water, just filling in some things that bring me joy. And I really liked the way that this page turned out and I had a lot of fun doing it. Now here again, really don't know what I was doing with this journal. I did want to use some of the stickers that I finally splurged for, and I got the Ransom Note sticker book. I'll leave a link to it in the description box below. But I was excited to get this, and I wanted to use those stickers. And here I decided to do a art supply intake where I was kind of going through some of how I use my supplies, what I need to use, what I'm missing, and I just started documenting that. And then I carried it over here. I was swatching some of the different supplies that I have that I don't use very often, and the pros and cons, how they work with other things. And that was really fun. Then continued over, I got some new pens here. No, this was still testing pens I already had. The Flare pens, which I have a love-hate relationship with. I'll link those down below. So they're good for writing, coloring in small details, and doodles. They do work with pencils nicely, but they're too light to really work with the Poscas. They do complement the midliners, but I honestly don't like them because they are not waterproof. I don't like the way they write. They're kind of scribbly. I want to love them. There's a specific use for them, but I will probably never love Flare pens. But inevitably, if I get rid of them, I will forget this and buy them again because it happens every single time. So keeping them and using them occasionally. This I wanted to use up some of my stickers. This was such a fun page to do. A little out of my comfort zone, but I had these beautiful stickers from one of my grabby journal boxes, and I wanted to use some of them up, but while they are pretty, they're not necessarily my style. So I decided to try to use them in a different way, and so I just put a few on here, and I did some journaling about each of them. So like with the clouds, taking time, just a moment to watch the clouds move across the sky is a chance to honor nature and myself and to be in the moment. Clovers, there have been so many clover this year. They were everywhere. They were huge. I even saw four-leaf clovers at some of the plant stores. We even have some in the yard. Bows, I made a lot of bows this year with the help of my bow maker. And lamplight, the light out my window is motion activated, and it's like our community. Like, so there's our community street lights. So all night long, bam, they pop on anytime anybody drives through. I like to have my window open at night so the cats can look out. And so I'll be laying there just meditating or resting, petting the kitties, sleeping, and it'll be like all dark. And then all of a sudden, bam, the light comes on. And it's quite shocking. All I have to do is shut my blinds and window, which I'm the problem. Now, this page, I was having another rough day here. I do remember that. So I was talking to my therapist, and I had mentioned, that I do try, this is when I was still working full time, but I was on medical leave. And I said, I do try to take, at least 10 minutes a day for myself to art journal or do what I love. And she said, you're worth more than 10 minutes or 30 minutes. You're not an afterthought. And so that kind of stuck with me. So I did document that here. And I used some of my own ephemera that I have created, as well as some stickers, the little color in yourself stickers. And how to make myself a priority, to decide what I need, how to support myself, and when and where I will meet my priority needs. And this is the point at which this journal, without a purpose, started to have some unintentional purpose. And I did end up doing a lot of shadow work or a lot of self discovery, self improvement journaling in here rather intentionally. I didn't set out to do that, but as I just gave myself the freedom on certain days to start creating very intuitively, sometimes some pretty deep things would get processed. And as a matter of fact, later on in the journal, there is a page I hesitate to share because it really did go fairly deep. So here I wanted to use one magazine for this page, and that is what I did. It has these paintbrushes, so I cut that out, and then I used the background on it to cut out flowers and went over those with a Posca marker and added in some of the magazine pages here. Discover all the possibilities of using prompts and unlimited supplies. Here I was talking about energy goals. This is when I was having the epiphany that I don't know how to manage my own energy. And it's one of the things that's contributed to my burnout, is that I don't listen to my body. I just keep pushing and pushing and going, and it really causes some issues. So I was doing some journaling here, and then just put down some watercolor paper and some stickers. And then here on this page, a very simple one, but I love the way it turned out, and just used some torn paper. And I was using up some of my famous Happy Planner stickers that have been around for so many years. And this is sometimes honoring my energy, is simply allowing and accepting a slow start on a day of planned action. And what this feels like today, I woke up later than expected. I felt the urgency to start. I wasn't sure where to start. I started working on Alea, which is anything related to this channel or my art business or anything like that. I got overwhelmed. I was having groggy eyes and trying to ignore it. I started list and felt productive, and then overwhelmed, admitted that I was having some issues with my eye, researched it, decided I needed to rest my eyes. I moved a bit. I ate. I felt sad because I had the urgency to do, but couldn't make it happen. Accepted that today wasn't a productive work day. And then I did some study on energy, and I took a walk. And at 2 o'clock, I finally felt awake. So this was me just processing through some things and creating with these papers and stickers. Here we have, I decided to use up some more stickers here. And this was a very productive day. I got so much done before 11 o'clock, and then I did not know what to do with myself. So I decided to have some art and relax. This is a very simple page. I just did some stamping and colored in these birds. We did see a new bird on our neighborhood walk, which is always exciting. And May the 3rd, this is when I'm starting to feel a little bit like myself again, which was very nice. From this, I know I'm healing because I am smiling more, I'm alive, and I'm less stressed. Did some spring cleaning and used up some stickers. So these are some stickers I've had along for a long time. I'm not a fan of cleaning, so using cleaning stickers is not super excited. But I wanted to use these. And then I had drawn this from a image that I believe I saw on either Facebook or Pinterest, and it was this possum wearing cat ears saying, "I'm a good kitty." So I drew that, and it was just cute and fun. Here on May 7th, we went to the Houston Botanical Garden. I used some of my old Jaden Davenport supplies, and then some magazine cutouts, because I kept seeing these fruit sandwiches and was just really wanting to try them. So I cut them out, and this is when I decided to have my Thursday tea party. And then this page was all about planning and how that's the fun part of throwing or creating an event. So I just did a little basic planning here. This page was really fun. I did end up doing some journaling here. I used some more stickers from the ransom note. Flower magic is everywhere, and it brings me joy. And I just enjoyed all of these different magazine cutouts. And this is from this paper here, if I can get it out, is from Paper Play 2 by Amy Tangerine, which is a fun little book that you can it's designed for you to tear the papers out and use in your journaling and collage. So I've been having so much fun with that. And I thought it was so fun to coordinate it with this. this, and then in the background had just been some paint scraping, and then I believe I used a glitter highlighter to do these bold streaks there. All right, so May 10th, it looks like we did some actual journaling here. Feeling a bit some kind of way. It's getting closer to my return to work date, and I know everything will work out. I'm thinking clearly, and I'm less in survival and react mode. I'm still healing, and I should rush the process. Missing my mom and thinking about another meditation session to connect Dylan, and I'm feeling the urge to go do something, but I think it's a way of avoiding the feelings that I am having instead of desire. I'm enjoying this Let It Be journal. It's fun just to put something in it with no rules or guidelines. I love my other journals too. Like my journals were going to get jealous because I said I loved this journal. And then I just used some stickers. Simple. May 11th, I cut out some cutout images and just documenting that we were having the tea party, going to Michael's. Yay, stickers. I had a Paloma wine, which was like a grapefruit wine, and it was really good and refreshing. I enjoyed it very much, which surprised me. So that's why I got to use the wine o'clock sticker there. So this page was using a technique that was from one of the art classes I took, taught by the lovely Jean Davenport, and it was her color weaving process. And because I love color, this was so fun. So I did that. I stamped this little cat. Small talk sucks because it does. And I socialized. So I documented that here with you people. And don't give me attitude. I've already got it, right? So that was really fun. I loved this. Here, just some more perfecting observations. Oh, a bird pooped on our glass door, and but none have found the new bird feeder. Well, I'm happy to say that over a month later, they have found the bird feeder. They have knocked it off. They have broken it. I have taped it back together. I have moved it. They have definitely found it, and they are enjoying it very much. This was a fun page to do. I used this watercolor gels that I got on clearance at Michael's to do just scrape on the background. Really did love that. This paint stinks so bad though. It's disgusting. And Return of My Little Bat Cats, which I haven't drawn in forever. I had a headache and I believe I misspelled it, but that's okay because we don't worry about that. Here I was having a bit of a junk journal mood, so I was putting in some of the stickers from the traveler's journals that I got when I went to the little craft store. My son and I went and ate at cilantro and we had kimchi fries and it was so good. Then we went and walked around Old Town Spring, which we've been to before, and I had been highly anticipating going back, but it was hot and we walked around for about 20 minutes and I was like, okay, I'm done. So we left. And then Joshua was having me try out a pencil that he bought at the little craft store, and I wrote, "Why is your cat so mean?" And then I had got these fun stickers. I love these so much. You'll see me using them all over the place. These are the PET stickers. And I forget the name of the designer. I will try to link her below and link the little craft places information if you want to order some of these. I adore these stickers so much. They're so cute. They're little office supplies with attitude, and they're so fun. I am so glad that I bought this. It was kind of like a, what do you call those? The lady at the shop showed them to me, and it was like an impulse buy, which I'm not a big impulse buy person, but with stationery, this can't be. So here we are doing some vacation mode. What does living life in vacation mode look like? And I just was using some of my pens and doodling there. Another fun page here. I started watching Buffy again and got out of my reading slump, thank goodness, and started reading End of the World books, which is Apocalypse, but I couldn't think of how to spell Apocalypse, so I just went with End of the World. This page, I was using up some paper scraps that I have had forever, which is these hearts on lined paper. So I was so excited to do that. I had this little magazine cut out of this girl making a phone call and looking distressed, which was perfect since I did have to make phone calls that day. I did make them and they were completely unproductive, and I was very angry afterward. And then this says, the wild unknown, such a fun way to phrase it. Instead of a spirit of fear, it is a spirit of adventure, changing the world. Changing the words is a powerful way to start changing the mindset. All right, and this you may have seen because I did do a video over this page. I will link that as well. And I did one over this page as well, so we'll just skip right past that. Here we have some journaling done around, yes, you guessed it, more of these. And I actually think that I did share this in a video too, so we'll skip that. Then I drew this green girl, which I'm super excited about how she came out. And then I did a little journaling. So today is a strange day. Josh and I both woke super sleepy. We did some errands and came home and just crashed out. Everyone, cats too, was asleep midday. We ate salmon and baked beans, and I drew this green girl. Green girl thoughts. Is she an alien? A greedy gal full of envy? Does nature's life flow through her veins? She looks content, happy, and her blue hair fits her. I think she's brave and bold and ready to face the world as who she is, with no care about how they view her green green skin and blue hair. So really fun. So we're getting a little weird here. I wanted to use up more stickers. So these are stickers that I don't like. Okay, like I can appreciate they are kind of cute. Like I do actually like this one. They're not stickers I would normally use, and these are just kind of terrifying to me. So I decided to make a sticker story with them. So I wrote the story as I stuck in some stickers. It's weird, okay, but it was fun. So give it a try. If you don't know what to do with your stickers and you don't know what to do with your journal, even if you're not creative, just make a sticker story that has really no plot, no plan, no idea. So here we go. The queen grabbed her glasses and stepped out the door. A huge bug flew at her and got stuck in her eyelashes. Also, why guys, why are there so many eyelash stickers in planners? Who's using those? What are you using these for? I don't like them. That was not part of the story. While removing them for banana-shaped bug, she dropped the lunch on her shoes. It's hard to save the world. It's hard to conquer the world when you can't even get out of the door without a delay, she said with a laugh. Sometimes you just gotta roll with it and be the best you can be. The queen spotted her ride and said hello to the driver, and they all went off in search of the world's most magical melon and to get stuff done. The end. I'm telling you, it's terrible. Using stickers, I don't like to make a story journal page. It started with an acorn. Oh, I'm not going to read that one because it's too hard to read what I wrote. But so this page was another processing page. I was really writing out the idea of rest, different types of rest, how to be intentional with rest. When I started these pages, I didn't have any idea what I was doing. I literally just started using these papers and then filling it in. And then I thought this looked nice and relaxing, so I added that as well. Anyway, I think that's a really pretty page. I was quite happy. This is a hot mess. I hate everything about this. It had potential, but it went bad. So we're just gonna go right on. May 28th, I did a really scratchy, messy border, and then I sketched in this girl has just slowed down. I went to Daiso. Not a good idea because this is when I had broken my toe. Talked to Stephanie, my daughter, and I finished some work that I was working on. And Josh started his first day of work, and then I find putting in this guy, "Be you, the world will adjust." And this is just a little creepy cat that I drew. Small ways that I'm reusing trash, and I just did some sketches of how I've been using some different jars as pen holders and magazines in my junk journal, and I was using some of my pill bottles to hold my art supplies as well. Go back and do something on this page, but it never happened. That's okay. This is a hot mess of a page. I did this really terrible border that I hate, and I drew this wonky hamster with a fountain pen. I don't know why I was like, yes, let's draw with a fountain pen when I can barely write with a fountain pen, but I did it. And I did this flower and then this other one, and this says growing man grow, because it's like, what are you doing? Growing man, I'm growing. All right, and then this page, did a cutaway page, and I'm not going to share this one because it is a lot of processing grief over losing my oldest son, so we're just going to skip right there. And then this was just a page with rest, and I put in this artwork and just colored around it. Really fun, relaxing way to use. This one was fun. I went in with some washi tape and documenting that there were 8 spreads left in this journal. Would I splurge on an Archer Olive after this? Would I get a brand from Amazon, or would I just order this kind again? And here, just more kind of random pages. This one, I was just taking different markers and writing all over the page. Fun. I drew this weird bird. I was talking about summer wing because apparently summer wing's a thing, and I'm just going to go with it. I'm going to embrace it. I'm all for summer wing. This one, I did a patchwork here on the alcohol markers just to see how my different pens would work on top of those. And then I did some little funky flowers. Friday the 13th, and I love Fridays because they're a reminder of great blessings to me. And I drew this little girl with her cat and her Zentangled hair. Here, for the rest of these pages, I slip into this odd using colors that are not my favorite. The green and brown together. Didn't really care for it, but I used that just to do some journaling. I was talking about some ADHD things here, like things I'm forgetting. Sometimes I have to really remember that I need to cook and eat, and that can be a bit of a struggle. I'm really getting into a new routine. Time blindness. Without a structured work schedule, I'll stay up too late and really just struggling to find that. And unmasking, it's really nice to let out the random noises and song lyrics and odd thoughts that I couldn't do when I was working 40 hours a week on the phone. That's really nice. This page, the page nightmares are made up. So for this fun one, what I wanted to do was go in and use stickers that are creepy to me. And I started with the clowns because they are creepy. They are creepy, creepy. I hate them. They are terrible. This astronaut monkey, absolutely awful. The snake, no. Scorpions, absolutely not. What is that? These people, they're creepy. That's a syringe. It's creepy. But I actually had a lot of fun going through and finding all of the creepy stickers, which I could probably do many creepy stickers. So there's an idea for a page if you don't know what to do. Collect magazine cutouts or stickers of just creepy nightmare things. And then this is the journal wrap up. So the spine on this. It lays pretty flat when you work on it. That held up pretty well, so 5 stars there. This was great for the Sharpie Creative markers, collage glue, acrylic, drawing, mark making. Not great for using watercolor Poscas. Also peel the paper. The Ohuhu alcohol markers, they don't bleed when the 2 pages are glued together, but not all the colors look the same as they do on other paper. I think it's just because this soaks in the paper, the alcohol ink differently. Did I like the theme of Let It Be? I like that it was an open theme. I kind of let it become what it was, and I ended up doing a lot of emotional processing. So I do like that, and I think I will continue the Let It Be journal. The cover quality on this journal was horrible. There were 53 spreads and 106 pages. Nothing in here was cohesive. A lot of the supplies conflicted with each other. The cover is so ugly. A lot of the pages did, not all of, a lot of them, but several pages did wrinkle really bad from the glue for some reason. And I really hated the birthday page that was in here. But I had a lot of fun with the sticker stories. That was really unexpected. Visually, it's not a beautiful page, but it was a page that was really fun to do. The color weaving, absolutely loved it. Therapeutic and pretty. Journaling, like with words, therapeutic, love that. To do and documenting, useful. I didn't really like when I was putting the to-dos in here though. I would probably do it again, but it's not, I have other places I put those, but ideas, if I want to put them in here, I can. And I really liked using up my supplies. Paper quality, not great, but it did work when you glued 2 pages together. All done. Thanks for staying with me for this extremely chatty video. What was your favorite page or your favorite idea? Would absolutely love to know below. And thank you again for joining me. Go create something.